Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Thank you to those that have pointed out that the mic's a bit off, like the sound isn't as crisp as it should be. Easy fix. I say easy, I haven't done it yet, but I'm using an old Shure mic. I have got new ones and I forgot to switch it around, and I'm being lazy, and I will switch it around before the next video. I do want to get a new stand as well. I feel like this one's just a bit too high. It just needs to be a bit lower. I think I need to take the camera stand up as well. So look, small fixes, small changes that I will do, I promise, before the next video. But thank you so much for the feedback. You guys know I always take it on board. All right, let's have a look and see what there is to talk about before we talk Shakur Stevenson linking up with Matchroom. Oh, I do want to talk about this. I saw this on the Bivol Baturbia video I did. I had a look at the comment section, and there were quite a few people that were not happy about Fabio Wardley Fraser Clark happening in Saudi. Obviously, it's a British title fight, and I think the majority of people wanted to see that fight in Britain. Now, look, I get you. I understand you. I'm with you, people. But I'm just happy the fight's happening. Because trust me, again, this is maybe my privilege of being behind the scenes a little bit. That fight was close to not happening. So, yeah, look, I'm just happy the fight's happening. Clearly, both of them want to get paid. Why shouldn't they? I'm always like fighters first in this situation, because it is such a brutal sport. Get as much money as you can in a short career. Get as much money as you can. Fill your boots. And I think you guys know that they'll be getting paid a lot more in Saudi than they were or would have got paid in the UK. Fabio Wardley fought there before, member, against David Adeleye. He knows the difference between the Saudi pay packet and the UK pay packet. Regardless if it's sold out Portman Road, regardless if it's sold out the O2 Arena, they're getting paid a bit more money. So look, I get it. I understand the frustration with it. But, I mean, that first fight was brutal, and they should get paid the maximum they can get paid. And, yeah, Saudi's just paying a bit more money. So look, I get the disappointment. There were a few comments as well, not happy about Boxer. Again, look, we as fight fans like to find stuff, and I think a few people have found stuff. Obviously, look, if you're paying your Sky Sports subscription and you know you're a big boxing fan, there's a few boxer fighters on there, and you're like, 1 second, you know, I'm paying for my Sky Sports subscription, and these fighters aren't pay-per-view. Now all of a sudden, I've got to pay a pay-per-view to watch them. I'm talking about Joe Jr, Ben Whittaker, Jack Massey, Fraser Clark, etc., etc. Yeah, what can I tell you? What can I tell you, guys? It is what it is at the moment, but hopefully we do see these guys back in the UK fighting as part of our subscription, because it is a lot of money to follow the sport of boxing. A lot of money. All right, Folton Jr embarking on stealthy return to the top. He's been at the ring too long. I know it was a knockout defeat to Inoue, but that fight was 14 months ago. I know he's got a fight coming up in a few weeks' time, but by the time he fights again, Inoue would have fought 3 times. And look, I get it. Inoue won, and you know, when you have a knockout defeat, you do need to take some time off, but not 14 months. Not 14 months. But look, let's see what Stephen Folton can do in a new weight class. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's a long time out of the ring. It really is. Talking about long time out of the ring, Danny Garcia being out of the ring for 2 years was good for me. How is that possible? Look, I understand sometimes you just got to press the pause button with boxing because it is so dangerous and your body takes a battering, right? I get it. You need to just, okay, nothing, no sparring, no nothing, just stop. But not 2 years. Like, it's just not, no, it's just not possible. Like I've always said, like, forget boxing being physically so hard. I think technically it's so difficult. So I just feel like you're going to be, there's no way you can be on the top of the game having not done it for 2 years. It's just not possible. Yeah, you've been doing it since you were a kid. It isn't like riding a bicycle. Like, get on the bicycle. Once you get on the bicycle again, you're okay. No. It isn't. There's no way you can be as sharp. You've lost a step. You've lost several steps. So, I'm not having this being out the ring for 2 years was good for me bullshit. A year, okay, cool. I can understand the argument. 2 years? 2? Not for me. All right, let's talk about Shakur Stevenson signing a promotional deal with Matchroom Boxing. The worst kept secret, I think, in boxing. I mean, he was ringside a couple of times, wasn't he? I think he was at the Jaron Ennis fight and ringside with Eddie there. And then obviously ringside with Eddie for the Crawford Madrimov fight as well. He has spoken to everyone and he's decided the best place for him right now is with Matchroom. A couple of reasons. Obviously, Eddie's got a really, really strong relationship with Turkey. Others have as well, but I think Eddie's seems to be the strongest at the moment. So that makes sense, right? You're going to get on a Riyadh season card, as we have seen, fighting Joe Cordina. Now, there will be some cynics that will say, oh, 1 second, because I read somewhere that he's only signed a 2 or 3 fight deal. So what? That's what all boxers should be doing right now. No boxer should be signing 8-9 fight deals like in the past. 2 or 3 fights, that's it. What more do you need? And this is Eddie's opportunity in those 2 or 3 fights to show what Matchroom can do for him. Like, let's show what the Matchroom machine can do for Shakur Stevenson. You know, as soon as Eddie gets on the mic and talks about Shakur Stevenson, he's going to be selling him like he's the greatest thing since Muhammad Ali. That's what Eddie can do for you. Like, Eddie will become the voice and the spokesperson that he hasn't really had. Bob isn't going to do that, and nor is Jay Prince, right? I mean, Eddie will play both roles, manager, promoter, whatever. Eddie's going to play the role. So I think it's a good link up for now. And I do think as well, like when Matchroom first started to go into America, these were the signings they wanted. They came in there. Eddie probably came in a bit too loud, too aggressive. And Al shut him down in terms of trying to sign Al's fighters. It wasn't going to happen. Remember, he wanted the Charlos. He wanted Adrian Broner. He was chucking this money. People were showing DMs of Eddie trying to say, look, come over to us, come over to us. Weren't going to happen. Now, though, all of a sudden, Jaron Ennis, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney's got a working relationship with him as well. Bam Rodriguez, Diego Pacheco. Some good names. And there's more. There's way more. I've missed out so many big ones. But Edgar Berlanga. Eddie's putting together a very good stable of fighters in America. Very good. And it's going to be interesting to see what Eddie can do with Shakur Stevenson. Obviously, look, first fight, Joe Cordina, he comes through that one unscathed. They're talking about Zepeda, come through that one unscathed. Does Eddie have enough to get him Loma? Again, it's a top-ranked fighter. Does Eddie have enough to get him Tank Davis? Does Eddie have enough to get him a 140 fight maybe against Devin Haney? We shall see. We shall see. But I think it's a very good sign-in. I think Shakur seems to be very happy with it. Eddie's obviously very happy with it. Again, you've now got one of the big names in the sport of boxing, like a true big name in the sport of boxing. You know, I remember speaking to Frank Smith about the Canelo signing, like when Eddie first started working with Canelo. And I asked Frank about it. And Frank said, look, it isn't so much working with Canelo that was big for Matchroom and Eddie and the team. It was now that it almost gives you the green light to sign all the other Mexican fighters. Now, all those Mexican fighters coming through, obviously Matchroom do quite a few shows now in Mexico. It's almost though those Mexican fighters coming up say, oh, fuck, like Eddie's got Canelo. So when Eddie then goes to approach him and says, do you want to sign with us? They're like, of course we want to sign with you. Fucking Canelo's with you. And I almost feel like with these young African-American fighters coming through, they will now look at the stable and think, oh, okay, 1 second. You've got Jaron Ennis, you've got Shakur Stevenson. Yeah, where do I sign? But honestly, it helps Eddie a lot. It does. I remember someone used to always have a dig at Oscar saying Oscar's got no or doesn't care about black fighters. Who said this? I can't remember, but you don't want that reputation is what I'm trying to get at. You want the reputation that Eddie's got now, because Eddie seems to be working with everyone. Like, we think of the stable, he's got a load of Mexican fighters. He's got loads of Eastern European fighters. He's got loads of African American fighters. He literally is ticking every single box. And I think this is a big one. Honestly, I think this is a big one. And again, I can't wait to interview Eddie soon. I'm guessing in a couple of weeks' time, and hear how he's going to sell me that Shakur Stevenson is the best thing since Floyd Mayweather Jr. I'm looking forward to hearing the conversation. All right. What else is there to talk about? Heard versus Rosario. I don't know if you guys saw this fight. Both are done. I hate to say it, but it's over for both. They can still fight. They can. And when I mean it's over, understand what I mean. So that they can still have fights, but in terms of them thinking that they might get back to that top table and be in really big fights, just ain't happening. Just ain't happening. I watched that fight and I was like, Jesus Christ. Like these, especially Jarrett Hurt. Jarrett Hurt was like the guy that couldn't be hurt at one stage at 154 pounds. Like he was so much bigger and stronger than everyone. It goes, doesn't it? it goes. Yeah, disappointing. I don't know if I've spoken about Nick Bull. Yeah, obviously Nick Bull. I can't remember the guy he's fighting. Let me get it up before. But Nick Bull has a homecoming fight of sorts. I say it's not of sorts. It's a homecoming fight. Ronnie Rios. This isn't about Ronnie Rios. This is about Nick Bull. Nick Bull, I absolutely adore and love. Honestly, I adore and love for a couple of reasons. Number one, you know exactly what you're getting from Nick Bull. Like, Nick Bull is literally just, if you're a viewer, you're like, this is entertainment, because he's going to give you entertainment in the ring, right? I mean, it's not a style that will last long, unfortunately, because it is 100 miles per hour and it has to slow down. A bit similar to Josh Warrington, a little bit. Although Nick Bull's maybe got a bit more, in fact, not maybe, yeah, maybe has a bit more punch power. Josh can hit, by the way. Now he sits on his punches, he can crack a little bit. But what I really like about Nick Bull is that he's given us fights. This will be Nick Bull's fourth fight in less than a year. So he fought Isaac Dogbo. I think that was in November, if I'm right. Then Ray Vargas. Then Raymond Ford. And now he's fighting Ronnie Rios. I mean, obviously 2 world title fights sandwiched in that. And Isaac Dogbo, former world title, world champion. And Ronnie Rios has fought for a world title a few times, I believe, 2 or 3 times. That's incredible. And by the way, it's not like he had a couple of rounds against Dogbo and put him away, and a couple of rounds. 12 rounds, 12 rounds, 12 rounds, and now he's in another 12 rounder. Like, you've got to applaud it. You've got to applaud it, because we don't see this enough. Honestly, we don't see it enough. So look, good luck to Nick Bull. Congratulations to him. And hopefully they sell out the M&S Bank Arena, because he deserves that push, Nick Bull. All right, let's see if there's anything else that I have missed. Sonny Edwards believes Bam Rodriguez can challenge Naoya Inoue. Bam is special, isn't he? He's special. I think he can. I think, that there was talk of Inoue versus Gervonta. More realistic for me is Bam chasing Inoue up those weight classes, as opposed to Inoue chasing up Gervonta. No, I'd rather. I'm more intrigued by Bam Inoue than I am, or even wanting to see Inoue Gervonta. More intrigued. Paulie Malignaggi, it's hard to get excited about Shakur Stevenson, Joe Cordina. Yeah, he's right. It is. Again, just because we have Shakur right here, it's true, right? Literally one of the best right now, pound for pounder. Maybe gets into your pound for pound top 10, but a future pound for pound number 1, I think. And Joe, unfortunately, is coming off a loss, a knockout defeat. So that sell is difficult. I will say this though, I think Joe is gonna prove a lot of people wrong. I don't think he beat Shakur Stevenson, but I do think he's gonna look good in there. I think those extra 5 pounds are gonna help him as well. But look, we'll see how it plays out. I mean, Shakur obviously a massive favourite, defensive genius, and now he signed this new contract, and he would have spoken to Turkey about what's on offer, and he's probably hearing some figures that he's never heard before financially. Like, he right now mentally is going to get in that ring and go for the kill, I believe. Like, I think we're going to see the best Shakur Stevenson. I really do. It's almost like he's been unlocked. He's heard all the critique. Like, he's been fucking fighting everyone on social media, and now he's got his team. Like, the one thing he has said for a while is that Top Rank don't do shit with him. No excuses now. You've got your team. You've got Eddie Hearn. You've got Jay Prince behind the scenes still pulling strings. You've got Turkey. You've got the platform. Let's see what you can do, brother. Let's see what you can do. All right, guys, girls, we are done.